Brother! Oh, feeling good. It's Friday. Really enjoying it. We get weirder and weirder every single time, which is 10 out of 10. Fantastic. Yeah. You may notice there is a little bit of difference to our setup right now, and yes, we do not have. No, that's not what I'm talking about. We're talking about.
I was like, where are you going with this?
We don't have a tablecloth. Normally we have a black tablecloth.
I know, but I'm still going that we already shot. I'm like, there's nothing different. And I'm looking,
right.
Like, what is
yeah, you're right. We have two other videos where people will be commenting, where's the black tablecloth?
But while you're talking, I'm like, what's different?
What's different are these things. We got a couple different... Oh, gosh, that was...
I thought you did that on purpose. Greatly caught a finger.
Yeah,
Gym Inventions is what we're going to be talking about on this episode. Some of our favorites that we've either seen in this gym, on Instagram, or in other gyms that we may have ventured into.
Yeah, because a lot of people think of gyms and they're like, all right, they've got dumbbells, they've got barbells, and they've got various other bodybuilding equipment and treadmills. Like, that's it. Every gym's the same. Mm-hmm. Every gym is not the same because there are people constantly inventing new things to make your workouts better, make workouts more affordable. Like in the case of this one, this is a kettle grip. Yeah. This is my absolute favorite thing at this gym. You slap a dumbbell in it and lock it in, and you can just go to town like it's a kettlebell.
Yep.
But you don't have to purchase all of these kettlebells.
And that's exactly why I bought it. I bought them in pairs. I've actually got 2 pairs. Yeah. But coming from the old gym, we had all the kettlebells because of CrossFit.
Yeah. And
got rid of all those. But this thing literally takes that whole set of kettlebells, and I can turn it into whatever.
And it holds up. Like I used this for a TikTok, and people were like, "I don't trust it. It's plastic. There's no way that it'll hold up." I threw a hundo in one of these, started going to town, and guess what? This didn't pinch. It didn't come loose. The weight didn't roll.
I actually have 2. I bought this one from Kettle Grip, and then I bought the Chinese knockoff one.
I think this is the Chinese knockoff
one. They were cheaper than the Kettle Grip, but I got it because it was going to get it a little quicker.
Okay.
I now have 2 pairs, but the Chinese version, I did all the reading on them. And everybody on Amazon's like, oh, this is, it's a knockoff. It doesn't hold up as well. I was like, it's half the cost. Let me try it.
Yeah.
Got them in. They're the exact same.
Really?
Like, I've done farmer's walks with them. I've had people do swings. I think the only thing that's a little tougher to do is bottoms up, like what we would do for stability and stuff like that. Yeah. But at lighter weights, they're not that bad. We've put them on the barbells and things like that for when we do like bamboo type stuff, which we'll get into in a second. Yeah. And they've held up. Yeah. Like they haven't broke, they haven't snapped, they haven't cracked. Yes, they are plastic, but it's not like the cheap plastic shit. So kind of glad I found the other company and only paid like $17 compared to $35.
Very nice.
But yeah.
So love these. Other top ones in this gym that, or just your gyms in general that I hadn't seen before. The Deadlift Bar prop up. I've never seen that before until I came to one of your gyms.
The jack.
Yeah, Words are fucking hard, man. Yeah. I've been doing this for far too long today. I need a nap.
So we won't have that in like an LA Fitness. Like if you and I go, bang it out in LA Fitness, we're not going to have one. No. We literally, who picks up one side of the bar, that literally makes it super easy. We jack the bar up off the floor, we slide the plates on, we go.
Yeah. Super nice, super easy. Yeah. And then...
Yeah, so the bamboo bar. So this was actually a gift from the crew 3 or 4 birthdays ago. I don't remember. But it's one of my favorite pieces because it was a gift from them. But so it always stayed in my office at all the other gyms until somebody wanted to use it. But the idea behind it, concept behind it, we can load it up, but we can also go light, but we're working stabilizers. And I'm talking about like on bench press, dude, straight up from your grip, wrists, lats, like not just pecs.
Crazy.
It is.
You throw bands on either end with a weight attached, obviously. Yeah. And as you go up, as you go down, it just shakes the
and so
shit
you
out
have
of
to control that, and that's what makes it even better for your body. So as you start to shake more, you're actually shaking vibration through the bar to the bands, and it's just this energy to energy thing, so they'll actually shake you more. So you have to control the whole thing. So we've done a ton of stuff. RDLs, overhead presses. I have, like your wife, I'll have do overhead squats, things like that for stability, for
holds, you know,
a lot of Olympic stuff. So a great bar.
It's funny, someone who really buys in, not necessarily into this bar specifically, but we've talked about him on the show before, I'm sure you know, Eddie Hall. Eddie Hall, when he started to train he started training to get a big bench press, and then he tore a pec and he stopped doing it. But he trained on a bar that had a ton of whip in it, and he does that with deadlifts too. He has a bar that is just so much whip when you go up, it bends, and so that way he can work on his stabilizing muscles, and he can work on all that, and he says that that's the reason why his deadlift got so big, was because he constantly worked on those stabilizer muscles so much more than everyone else was. You know?
We've done RDLs, rack pulls and such with that bar, a lot of kettlebell hanging, and that much more difficult. You know, you got to control, and your time under tension. You know, we may go slower because if I'm ballistic on it, I'm going to send them kettlebells dancing. You know what I'm saying? So I have to be more controlled, and it's now time under tension for my grip and making sure everything is set properly. So, you know, and then to combat that whip or the shake, I now have to hold here, and it's forcing me to contract. And so those are the muscles that you don't think about under normal weight, that all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, man. And so we use this bar for whatever exercise, and we build those, we make them stronger, then we come back to, you know, the normal lift, whatever it may be. And the idea is that I should be stronger. So great bar, great invention.
Jody, can you toss me one of those clips real quick? That top one. I just thought of this because coming from middle of nowhere, Nebraska, I had never seen clips like these. I only saw the metal ones. Those fucking suck, man. Okay, you put this on the bar, snap, it's in place. Okay, I love these.
I've never had an issue with the metal clips. I watch people, they're like, what do I do? And I'm just like, you slide it on,
yeah, it's no problem sliding it on, but then it doesn't always stay. They get old pretty quick. If you drop the weight, it fucking bends it all to hell. There's another clip. Who's it from? This is Jody's favorite.
Throw me the blue ones with the clamps. I can't remember the name of the company here. Benchbox. So this was actually pretty neat. So this is a screw top. So talking about making sure it stays. You literally screw this into the barbell and it stays on there. Doesn't damage your barbell threads. Doesn't crease it. Doesn't do anything. The reason I'm talking about this because it's got another company, or same company, just a different clip, has a chain attachment. So you can slide these on. It has the chain at the bottom. So
that's
all of our chain work that we do, we have, there they are. Jody, can you grab those? We have the blue straps. So these,
Jody, the gopher
we got
today.
The blue straps, and then you have these. So instead of needing all these straps or dangling your chains from bands and stuff,
hate it when my chain dangles.
My old chain dangling. But the chain will just hang from the collar. So now you have pro locks. Okay. So these we also use. So as you know, because being here, we just drape these right over the bar.
Elite
we
FTS.
get this for for bench or for deadlift. And then we hang them a little higher when we get up to the squat, and this is just for band attachments and things like that. So
these are awesome. Being able to do
great versatile pieces for everything we do in here. However, you asked me to start this. What was my favorite gym invention? I'm gonna have to go with the inverse curl. It's a Louis Simmons piece.
The inverse curl.
So it's kind of like a GHD, kind of like a Nordic curl, except that you are ankle supported on a bench, your knees are on a platform, and you're holding this pad, and you have to drop down, and there's counterweight. And so the more weight that's on is the more assistance to get you back up, and the stronger you get, the better your hamstrings are, and the more you learn the piece.
I've got it now. Where you end up bending at your knees and coming all the way
essentially, up. So like on a GHD, we're up top and we drop down to 180. We use our hamstrings to pull us up. This is kind of sort of like a banded version of that. It's giving you assistance to get back up. and then the stronger I get, I take weight off.
Because hardly anyone can do those unassisted.
Yes.
Like those are
very good sign of athletic ability and hamstring strength and hamstring health if you can do body weight GHDs, weighted GHDs, things like that.
Absolutely.
And the reason I come to that piece, I told you the story about going to Westside, and I told Louis my deadlift opener. And he's like, oh, weak hamstrings. And I'm like, but I whispered my deadlift opener to him. I don't know, did I not tell you the story?
No, you didn't tell me that part.
I didn't tell you this whole story?
No.
So
you said you met Louis and
so
dude was
the
like...
time I met Louis, the very first time, he's like, you're competing? I said, yes, sir. He's like, what's your squat opener? And I told him, and it was when I was going to open up with 1,003. He's like, oh, man, that's pretty good. And I was like, he's like, what's your bench? And I told him, he said, man, that's pretty good. He's like, what's your deadlift? And I lean in, and I'm like, 622. And I whispered, and right away he's like, oh, weak hamstrings. And I tell the guy that runs the whole show up there, when Louis in the gym, told him the same thing. So he's like, oh, weak hamstrings. I'm like, Jesus, man, what is it with my hamstrings?
What the hell?
So
why does everyone know how weak my hamstrings are?
A year later, we go back up, and he had been creating the inverse curl, and I get to work out now because I'm not working out. Not competing, so I get to try it. And I get up there, and Louis got some weight on, and he keeps taking weight off. He's like, oh man, he's like, you got some strong hamstrings. In my mind, I'm like, oh my God, Louis Simmons just complimented me because a year ago you said I had shit hamstrings.
Right.
So here's this compliment coming from the Godfather, right? Immediately next, he's like, yeah, I got my 12-year-old girls. They come over here. They got way less weight, and I'm like, and back.
Oh.
So literally a compliment, and then a backhand that he's got his high school, middle school girls, a lot stronger hamstrings than what I've got as a fucking 36-year-old male. And I'm just like, motherfucker, like you couldn't just let me have just a little bit more time with that compliment.
No, you.
But he didn't remember the shit hamstring comment from when I went to compete type of thing. So in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, like I'm showing some progress.
Yeah.
No, apparently not. So yeah. But it's an awesome machine, if you ever get a chance to try it, give it a go.
I would hurt myself on that thing.
Load up weight. It's like when I put people on GHDs, throw some extra bands, just to get the idea, concept of the movement, and then, reduce bands from there. But it's a really neat piece of machinery.
It is. Also, the mono, super cool piece of machinery.
Yeah.
It seems pretty basic for people in the powerlifting world, but like what I've seen also come out are solo monos. So like it sounds weird. Ones.
It's like solo mono.
But like I've seen them for bench press specifically, where they attach to a rig, and with the weight on, it swings forward. You lift the weight off, the handles go back, and then when you rack it, it swings back forward. Like the weight swings it forward.
Like from Rogue.
Yes. Rogue has.
I'm trying to think of what they're called, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. But I think those are awesome, especially like as we get into like so many people have garage gyms and their own home gym, and they are making the gym that they want inside of their own home. That's one of those things where if you're a garage gym guy, I can't remember his name. Nate Red, he's a pro wrestler from
I don't know.
He's a friend of mine, and Nate Redwing, that's his name. Great pro wrestler from Omaha. Needs to get some attention to him. But he does raw powerlifting as well as pro wrestling, and he just is on a farm by himself. He'll slap on like 475 for bench press, and if he dies, he dies. Like it is his. That's how he does. And so I'm just like, get some of these things so that way you don't die. But as people become garage gym people and they don't find the gym setting for them, they make their own. Those kinds of things to make lifting safer is really cool.
So funny you're talking about that, because there's a piece as soon as you said the monolift. It is, and for all intents and purposes, it's electrical, grip centered. It's like a Smith machine, but it's not a Smith machine. So it has the Smith machine look and lowering capabilities, but it has the free weight theme in it, that the weight will move forward, backwards, side to side. So I mean, you're essentially lifting free weight.
Yeah. What
I mean by the Smith machine aspect, Smith machine is very linear.
Yes.
Okay, so it goes up and down. and we can talk about the Smith machine too, because I like it.
Do you really?
I like it.
Okay.
We'll talk about it. But this electrical one, it's grip censored, so I got to put the thumbs on the sensors, and when I touch the sensors, it releases. So it's now the weight in my hand.
Okay.
So what happens, and this may be for your buddy Nate, is he's pressing, say he stalls out, you take the thumbs off the sensors, the bar stops and holds.
Okay.
So it's like a self-spotting Smith machine, but at the same time, it's got the free weight. So coming back to your Smith machine comment, some people don't like the Smith machine because it's not free weight. It's not me, bro. Oh, you, bro. Oh, you didn't spot it. Didn't touch it. So some people...
It's just weird to me. I don't like the bending and the twisting. I can't... I'm not good at the Smith machine, so I say, fuck that machine. I don't want to use it.
The rollback can be pretty tough, on the wrists on bench. Squatting, I mean, we've squatted on it, we've deadlifted on it, and things like that. We find uses for it. When we can go higher rep and things like that, it's a little safer on the Smith machine versus getting you on something free weight. So I don't have an issue with it. But this piece might be pretty good for your buddy.
Yeah.
It's literally, like I said, other than, we don't have the racks. It's up. So when I let go up here, it's not like me putting it in the J's. It literally is hanging.
Yeah.
Now, the only caveat to that is, hey, if electricity goes out, that motherfucker just dropped on me, or the sensors don't work. So what happens? So I don't know in that regard, when I was over there, I never had it happen. But, you start from wherever and you get it dropped down, you hit the sensors and you kind of unrack, and then you do your movements, and when I'm done, I let go and it hangs there. There was one other
thing that I saw specifically for bench press, and it was the weirdest. I saw it on Instagram, and dude took it, or regular, seems like a regular thing, and he's got the arms, like these are.
I think I know. They have a foot pedal.
He has a foot pedal. That's exactly it. And so he doesn't have it. So he presses on the foot pedal or releases the foot pedal, and the arms, or the bench drops, whatever it is. So he can be safe. And I was like, it scared the shit out of me the first time I saw it, because he failed.
That's a great invention.
That is great. Yeah. I don't know how expensive it is.
I didn't even look up on this electrical mono piece I just told you about.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
That thing's got to be.
But the self-spotting bench with the foot pedals, that was a pretty neat piece I've seen. Now we're starting to get into, outside of deadlift jacks, now we're starting to get into some high technology type stuff. Yeah. Like where we're going with
we started off with these literal rings. Simple pieces.
All right, so this right in front of you, did we talk about this yet?
No, we haven't.
So, carpet puller. This is amazing for us geared lifters. I am not a fan of it. I use it over here because I don't have my old Smith machine. I'm just old school. I just roll my briefs over the bar and get myself set in. This, literally, it saves your grips when you help me. We put the carpet pulling piece onto the brief. We hit the clamp, and now it's a set of hands. And now I can slide myself into my briefs, pull my suits up, and things like that. So
it's a perfect wedgie machine.
And this is, if you take a look at all those welds, that's just a pair of vice grips.
Oh yeah.
Those pieces are welded onto that. Is this Chad's?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then the way Chad rigged this is those back chains in your right hand, the swivel. So it's just easier.
Oh,
you can keep it. Yeah. So it's not. Yeah.
That's a Chad invention.
I can keep it one way and just turn the swivel, and now I can tighten it or loosen it.
Nice.
So, yeah. That's a Chad invention.
That's really
I don't
cool.
think the welds. I don't think he had his welded, but But great for us as far as a piece of machinery. I don't know how many times they've saved lives of getting us in and out of machines.
It is so funny watching you guys dangle on these things.
You weren't around a lot of Sundays at the first gym when I actually had the Smith machine, but when it was just me getting me out, we would waddle me over to the Smith machine. Suit would be halfway down, but where it would get stuck, and I would have to kind of dragon flag up to the Smith machine, and they would wrap my straps, and now I'm upside down from the Smith machine trying to drop out of this thing. Yeah, it was ridiculous, but it's what worked. You know? So now we have
and when you're in a suit, you want out.
You want out by any means. I mean, I've literally traveled to some meets. All it is a crossbar pin, a supporting pin. I've traveled to meets with one of those to get me out. We literally slide the piece through, and now we're pry barring me.
Wow.
And I've traveled through and had to explain to security, airplane security, what this is. No, it's not a weapon. It's being checked. This is going to save my life in a day and a half. Yeah, so we've done that as well.
Man, and people wonder why I want to stick to raw. And it's because I don't want to have to deal with that.
Dude. So the funny thing is, I used to watch this before I ever got into gear.
Yeah.
My boy John, when we went up to Ohio, I watched guys literally, like, you're stuck. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I was just a raw lifter at this time. I'd never had an aspiration to do gear. I watched it.
Yeah.
Had, trained it, and then we went and did geared things raw.
Yeah.
So that's a whole nother day. But I used to watch these guys up there in Ohio. I'm like, man, never. Like, that looks
like
miserable.
a lot. Yeah, that looks awful.
Yeah, but the trade-off is, what you just went and lifted, you're now, oh, I just went and lifted that?
Yeah.
All right, this is worth it.
All right, fine.
The cuts, the bruises, the blisters, all that stuff. It's all worth it.
Yeah.
So
I guess bench press shirts and everything are pretty damn cool gym invention.
those two. Yeah, we didn't even talk about those.
Yeah. Bench press shirts, deadlift suits, the whole nine.
If you do your reading on the history and where we've come from, what shirts used to be, and squat suits, what they used to be, into what we now have.
Yeah.
These Frankenstein pieces of material that we've got.
Yeah.
And then adding layers here and sizing up things here, and just to make it tighter, snugger, looser, whatever for the individual. So
Yeah.
those are great, and they've come a long way.
Yeah.
So
gym equipment's come a long way from big rocks and big trees.
well, so like even and what you just said, your old metal clamps to what we have here,
More efficient, safer.
Yeah.
It's crazy. What are some of your favorites? Leave them in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to this channel because we put out videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Hit the notification bell so you know exactly when those come out. This is the end of the show, which means we got to plug the podcast, which you can find on Spotify, Google Play, a plethora of podcast platforms. Yeah, a plethora of podcast platforms.
I like that.
Triple P, baby, from Pistulka. All right. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Radio Guy Austin.
Is that alliteration or automatopoeia?
That is alliteration.
Yeah. Look at us. We're not just meatheads.
Yeah, we got some up here. If you want to sponsor the show, be sure to hit us up on Instagram. That's the easiest way. Alan, where can they find you?
At Alan Pilley and at Lady Juice Beard Oil.
That's right. Thanks to Lady Juice Beard Oil for sponsoring this episode and every episode so far, because Lady Juice Beard Oil, the best beard products that you will ever have. That's going to do it for us this week. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.